Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amos. I'm the founder of MetaWeb VC. It's my great pleasure to join all of you guys here today at NearCon to introduce you guys about our fund, why we're investing in Near ecosystem. One, as a founder, you should be building on Near. A little bit about myself. I was pretty much a serial entrepreneur with background in product marketing and business developments. Currently, in addition to my involvement at MetaWeb, I'm also the GM of Asia and Near, leading the operations here in Asia across marketing, business development, software development, product development. We're also temporarily helping Near Foundation in managing its global marketing efforts. So before Near, I was a founder and executive as a few VC-backed startup in the field of public chain, stablecoin-based payments, as well as SaaS tool. I started in crypto officially in around 2015, but while doing so, I also got a chance to work with some of the largest enterprises in the world, such as Taobao, WeWork, YouTube, etc. I graduated from Brown University with a bachelor degree in economics, as well as a master degree in engineering. So let's get started. Why you should be building on Near protocol? So for those of you who are not familiar with Near, Near is the POS layer 1 public chain. It's certified carbon neutral. It's very, very scalable and also quite user-friendly. So there are essentially three reasons why you should be building on Near. And let's start with the more technical one. So Near is really unique in the sense that as a public chain, it offers one of the greatest compatibility for all type of developers. There are essentially three environments on Near, which are Near Native, Aurora, and Octopus Network. Let's start with Near Native, an open web-based platform, and also where we originally started. So one of the most known and competing advantage of Near is its ability to scale. Near uses a novel mechanism called sharding, Nash sharding technology to scale the network horizontally. So let's say if each shard can process up to 1,000 transactions per second, 10 shards, meaning the Nash can actually process 10,000 transactions per second. And the number of shards can actually be adjusted dynamically based on network usage. So all of this really act as a great technology layer for developers to build on, and you no longer, as a developer, have to worry about scale as a limitation. But in addition to that, one of the biggest challenges for crypto is that the apps are actually quite difficult to use, especially for the people who just joined the industry. Scalability is obviously one of the issue, that's why Ethereum is kind of slow, right? And the gas fee is so high. But on the other hand, dealing with token, gas fee, private key, all of those concepts are quite, unfamiliar for the user who just started in crypto. So that's why we architect in Near in such a way. So as a developer, you can even structure your app in the sense that users don't have to deal with any of this and just can get started right away. You can also, offer progressive onboarding and security, so user can increase their security level as they move on. So really here, Near is designed to bridge the user from today's internet to the blockchain-based web of the future. The Near native platform, native runtime is in Vazen, and you can write either in Rust or assembly script, which is quite similar to JavaScript, to build your applications here. But what if, as a developer, you already have existing Ethereum code? Can you just redeploy? Of course, you can do that on Aurora, which is the EVM runtime on Near. Essentially, it's pretty much Ethereum layer 2, the design for existing ETH users and that. Aurora is actually quite compatible, despite the fact that it's actually on Near, because the base token is actually even ETH. So if you're using something like Polygon or BSC, of course, you can use MetaMask, but as a user, you still have to, acquire a new token to be able to use the applications on their end. But in the case of Aurora, you just need to, open up your MetaMask or AMP token using your existing ETH token, select Network Aurora, and you can actually just get started because Aurora engine is actually taking care of the conversion from ETH to Near. So that's actually very cool. But not least, we also have Octopus network, which is a substrate-based app chain network on Near. So compared to some of the other app chain network, Octopus really excel at offering flexibility, security. That is actually up to 100 times more cost-effective than some of the competitor out there. So really is quite developer friendly for especially the smaller startup and people who just get started in building an app chain. So those are the stream frameworks on Near. One thing I also should mention is that since all of those frameworks are on Near protocol, the asset transfer can actually be confirmed in 1 to 2 seconds. So really, this is something that no other platform can offer. Cool. So all of this really offers a great technology base for developers on Near to build mainstream adoption. But more importantly, by building on Near, you also can gain lots of upside potential because Near ecosystem is still at early stage. So there's still plenty of opportunities in the field of DeFi, gaming, social apps, NFT, and beyond. And let's look at the ecosystem growth data. So with only slightly over a year of launching Midnight, Near already had 1.3 million accounts on the network and still growing fast. One thing to note here is that the Near accounts actually cost money, meaning that as a user, you actually need to maintain a minimum amount of reserve in Near to essentially account for storage on Midnight. So the data here is actually quite remarkable. In addition to that, there are actually already more than 40 million transactions generated on Midnight as well. And more importantly, Near as a network is really built for the long haul, essentially by the people behind Near. So Near, as some of you know, has one of the strongest technical team in the space, with already over 100 full-time contributors across 10 countries. All of those people share a vested interest to ensure continuous commitment in terms of like building and maintaining the network and the protocol. And besides like just the people, there are also multiple companies and organizations across the world to really try to accelerate the Near ecosystem growth. Some an example including Near Foundation, Near Inc., LeadTech, Satori, Proximity Lab, and etc. And because all of this reason, we decided to set up MetaWeb VC, a global crypto firm, and focusing our investment on Near ecosystem. And our goal is try to build, is to help build the next generation technology powering mainstream adoption of blockchain. As a fund, we were pleased to offer a couple of things to our developers and investors. First and foremost, we actually have a quite extensive global network. So in a lot of cases, we're essentially acting as the bridge between innovation and adoption, whether that's east to west or west to east. As a fund, we're also very research driven because blockchain as a young technology, it does still draw upon academic research in the field of computer science, cryptography, economics, finance, sociology, all of those. And to really seize opportunities, you kind of need a team with multidimensional expertise and sharp acumen. So that's why I'm very pleased to share that most of the folks on the phone, actually everyone from the phone actually come from a very good academic background and also very experienced, either like software development experience or business experience, in the industry, both in Web 2 and Web 3. And last but not least, we also try to lean on our investment decision to base on the research, whether that's tokenomics or technical diligence or even the product design of the network. Cool. And more importantly, we actually invest with the incubator approach. So some of the things that we can help the entrepreneurs from our portfolio include marketing. I'm a pretty experienced marketer, as well as some of the other folks in the fund. So we can really help entrepreneurs formulate their go-to-market strategy as well as their community building strategy. We can also assess project in terms of formulating their tokenomics or help them to design their liquidity strategy. As a fund, we also have actually 2 full-time developers, to both do technical due diligence, but also support the team by helping them to build on their protocol. Last but not least, we also have a very extensive, global network, as mentioned before. So really, we can also try to help you use our network to help the project in our portfolio to accelerate adoption. Cool. So a couple of case studies that I can share with all of you guys. So let's start with Aurora. As I mentioned before, Aurora is Ethereum layer 2 scaling solution built on NEAR protocol. It has very good technology, so it can scale the EVM-based application with average 1 second block time and 2 second finality. So the background is that Aurora was raising the only round of priority sale before their public launch. Because it has very good technology and the team is based in the West. So not surprised, it actually has oversubscribed interest on some of the top Western investors. Yet their largest potential user base is actually in Asia. So that's why Aurora want to strategically allocate some of their tokens to the longer term investor and builder who can help them accelerate their adoption here in Asia. So our approach here is that we first help Aurora to build their first initial global marketing campaign to really create a buzz around the platform. We define Aurora's fundraising strategy here in Asia. We leverage our network here and essentially organize 2 online roadshow with selected strategic investor, developers, and influencers. In addition to the more business servicing, we also help Aurora with their developer community building as well as EVM project sourcing. So the result is that in only 2 weeks of time, Aurora became oversubscribed in Asia with actually minimum amount of effort from the Aurora team. We closed strategic investment from some of the top VC and distribution partners here in Asia. And we also help them run 2 hackathons here in Asia on behalf of Aurora Labs and onboard dozens of developers to try to build on Aurora and provide them very useful feedback. And last but not least, we also collect more than 10 DApp fees in Asia for Aurora. So here, MetaWeb is really acting as the bridge to Asia. On the flip side, Octopus is almost like the exact opposite case. So Octopus essentially is a team started in Asia. As I mentioned before, the network is a substrate-based app chain network on top of NEAR protocol. It offers very cost-effective, the security, out-of-the-box interoperability, and the complete infrastructure for the existing substrate developer to quickly deploy their app chain on NEAR with almost up to 100 times saving in terms of the cost. So our team is a very strong technical team here in Asia. So not surprised, they have quite a bit of interest here, but like a good way to to break into the Western market, both in terms of raising their community awareness or reach investor. So essentially, what we do is that we leverage our network and introduce Octopus to some of the top investors in the US, UK, Vietnam, and Korea. We also advise Octopus on community building and marketing strategy, introduce influencer and community partners globally. The result is that Octopus closed investment from 2 top funds in the US, as well as from strategic partners in Vietnam and Korea. We increase Octopus community size awareness by almost 10x. So in this case, MetaWeb is essentially acting as the bridge to the West. The last case is something different because the 2 case studies before focusing more on the infrastructure and the protocol layer. Well, Web3 Games is more on the application layer. So Web3 Game is essentially a gaming platform with building SDK tools to really try to combine elements from DeFi, NFT, and gaming all together and really let players to take ownership of their gaming experience. So the background is that as a young developer-centric team, Web3 really need help in terms of getting them business opportunity to really get adoption of the technology. In the meantime, Web3 games will also like to increase their awareness and improve their branding. So our approach here is that we essentially pitch to Taobao on behalf of Near and Web3 games for NFT collaboration. We also advise very heavily on the actual product build. We actually help with product management, advise on the product design, even help them to fix some of the code and doing auditing of the code in the end, which really accelerate the rollout of the platform. And last, we also help them to build essentially a global PR campaign around this Taobao collaboration. And the result is that we help them secure an unprecedented opportunity to work with Taobao, the largest e-commerce marketplace in China, for the very first NFT sale on the Taobao main station. We also delivered an NFT platform that allows really easy onboarding of Web2 user who can actually pay directly using fiat to get an NFT, and they don't even have to deal with paying gas fee, registering a wallet, or remembering like the private key, etc. And using this opportunity, collaboration opportunity will also help Web3 games gain global PR coverage from some of the top media such as CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, Chainnews, Sina.com, Tencent, and Naver, and beyond. So in this case, MetaWeb is essentially acting as the accelerate engine for Web3 game to get adoption. Cool. So in the end of the presentation, please allow me to introduce my team a little bit. So you guys already know me. I don't have to spend any more time on myself, but let me introduce the investment team from MetaWeb. So Cosmos is also a serial entrepreneur with strong experience in business development, crypto, and marketing. So he was the head of marketing at FPG. And before that, he was also the head of China and CoinDesk in New York City. Cosmos graduated from Columbia University with a Master of Science degree in journalism. On the other hand, Stanley is a very research-driven analyst and product manager. Really, love to dive deep into, tokenomics, on-chain data analytics as well. So Stanley graduated from University of Hong Kong, as well as a master's degree from University of Chicago. So that's the investment team. We also have a very robust technical due diligence team from namely Robert and Daniel. So Robert is a very experienced full-stack developer. And before joining Near and MetaWeb, Robert actually worked as the engineering director at MicroStrategy. Robert graduated from Zhejiang University with a degree in computer science. Daniel, on the other hand, was actually a CTO at a startup before joining Near. And before that, he worked at Salesforce as well as Skill.com in the US. But Daniel graduated from Stanford University as well as Carnegie Mellon University in computer science. Last but not least, we also have Maria supporting the operation aspect of things at MetaWeb. So Maria actually started her career in VC as well. Later on, she also hold a managerial position at crypto companies such as Nike, Bihoo, and US Canon. So one of the things that as a fund we're really proud of is that we have a really strong research and technical due diligence team. So some of the research partners we have, including Ilya, the co-founder from Near, and some of you may have known that he was an engineering manager at Google before, and he was actually also a major TensorFlow contributor. We also have Matt Lockyer, who's a co-founder of Satori. And prior to Matt is really a very experienced UX researcher. And for those who haven't heard of him, he was actually the inventor of the Ethereum ERC-998 standard, which is the standard for composable tokens. We also have Eugene, the co-founder from Proximity Lab, who was also a cloud developer at Near. Eugene is extremely smart and really, really good at computer science and research. So he actually won SCPC Gold Medal in 2008. And formerly, he was also an engineer at Google and Facebook. We also have a professor, Dr. Zhou Yajin, the founder and CEO of BlockSec, as well as a professor at Zhejiang University, to be one of the advisor as well. So Professor Zhou's expertise is in cybersecurity, and that's why it's great for us to have him, to advise on the security aspect things for our portfolio. So that's it for my presentation today. So if you want to learn more about MetaWeb, you can look our Twitter for like frequent updates about our investment as well as about NEAR ecosystem. If you're more learning type of like the research from the fund, you can go to our Medium. So that's it. Oh, I almost forgot. So there is actually a very cool after party after the event today. So if you haven't registered and heard about it, so definitely do so and join us at the Metaverse. Cool. Thank you, everyone.